Hello, everyone. A very good evening. Just wanted to get a nod on the audio clarity so we can proceed. But yeah, thanks. We'll be starting in just 1 minute. By the way, some ground rules to start with. This is a career counseling call where you have joined by SciAstra. So, welcome to all of you. A very warm evening. And if you want, you can switch on your videos. Would love to see you all smiling, but no pressure, of course. And please stay on mute unless explicitly asked by the speaker today, right? So that we can avoid any uninterruption disruptions. And okay, so let's start now. Of course, you can use the chat box to communicate your messages, ask your doubts. There will be a dedicated Q&A session towards the end of this call. And meanwhile, while you're listening to the speaker that we have today, you can take notes of any questions and queries you can have. And of course, SciAstra support team is also active in the chat box to take your questions and queries very actively. Now, with that, let me roll the introduction for the speaker that we have today. So we have Dipesh Joshi sir. So he has finished his MS research from the very reputed Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, where his work spans on vaccine development, immunogen design, peptide biochemistry, and molecular biology. Now, over the years, Dipesh sir has worked on diverse interdisciplinary research projects ranging from protein RNA-based vaccine for SARS-CoV and influenza viruses to antimicrobial peptide engineering and neurodegeneration as well. Of course, this all sounds very fascinating. His research actually spans and has allowed him to develop expertise in wide range of lab techniques, including wet lab and dry labs. So, and apart from that, he personally has mentored, apart from research, aspirants preparing for IIT JAMS, CSIR NET, GATE, CUET PG, UG, various other top science-related exams across India. And his students are right now studying in IISc Bangalore, including it, and have secured top ranks, including All India Rank 1, 3, 6 in different exams, including GATE, IIT JAM, Biotechnology, and CSIR NET, JRF, SRF. So with that, of course, with all the plethora of knowledge that Dipesh has brought today on this call, I would like you all to welcome Dipesh on this call. Dipesh, the audience is all yours, and please take it from here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Soumya, for the warm welcome. And hello, everyone. My name is Dipesh. So before starting with the this session, I would like to know from where you all belong to, and you can just write in the chat so that we can get to know our audience. You are joining from where? So just you can mention in the chat, and then we will start with the session. Okay. So you can write in the chat, and you can also mention your stream. Okay, so Bihar. Okay, and yeah, so you can also mention your stream, whether you are a PCB student, PCM student, or PCMB student. That also you can mention, okay, in the chat. So PCB, okay, Rajasthan. Okay, so anyone from Bangalore? Okay, Darsh is from Bangalore. Okay, so I am also joining from Bangalore only, that is SciAstra Bengaluru Center. Okay, in MG Road. And yeah, so Bangalore, PCB, Sagar. Okay, Namit, I am from Bangalore, 9th standard. Okay, Bangalore, PCMB, Sakhi. Okay, great guys. So let's start with our session. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible now.
Okay. Okay. So it is- okay, fine. So let's start with the session. So today we will be discussing about the career options that you all can have beyond this JEE and NEET. Okay, so we are SciAstra and we are India's largest science and research community, and our aim is to nurture students in such a way that they learn science and they are able to contribute to the scientific fraternity by becoming good scientists, by going into research. Okay, and also they don't become part of this rat race that they only want to become a doctor or engineer, which were believed to be conventional career options. Okay, a long time for basically a long time ago we used to think that we have only these as the career options. So basically you can be fall into each one of this category. You can be a 10th student, 11th student, 12th dropper, first year, second year. So in the chat, can you please write that you fall under which category, whether you are basically a dropper or you are in class 10th, 11th, 12th. Okay, so you can mention that, and then we will come to know that how we have to go with the session flow. Okay. So class 9th, class 11th, 10th. Okay. Okay. So dropper. Okay. So one person is dropper, rest other guys. So one is graduate. Okay. Good. So we have a variety of students. Okay. Right. So yeah. So let's start with the session. So if we see, okay. So also can you mention that whether you are a student or you are a parent? Okay. If some parents are also joining, they can also mention this. Okay. So whether you are a student or parent, so based on that, we can have the discussions. Okay. Student, okay. Parent, okay. So majority, like most of the people, they are students only, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's see. So what happens is, okay, so you might be basically having, you are stuck in these options, whether you are preparing for only JEE or NEET exam, you don't know about any other options for your career, you are just stuck with these two exams. Okay, if you are a PCMB, you will be giving both. If you are a PCB, you will only be giving NEET. Okay, you can't give JEE and all, right? And if you are a PCM, you will be interested in engineering, you will be attempting for JEE. So this is first option, that is you can prepare for JEE or NEET. Second option is that you might be so focused, you are so focused from this stage of your career that you want to become a scientist or researcher. So you are preparing exclusively for IIT and NEST examination. So that is category B. And then third can be, you know about all the options, you will give all the exams. So you fall in category C. And fourth one can be the person who is not doing any preparation and he basically doesn't want to prepare for this exam, he wants to do something else. So can you write ABCD in the chat so that we can come to know that in which category you fall? So both A and B. Okay, A, preparing for J. Okay, Sachin C. Okay, Sagar A, Shreyas A. Okay, so most of you, A and C are the options. So yeah, you know about these exams, right? But majority like people are with A option. Okay, great guys. So now if we see, okay, so the another thing can be that we want to know is how you are preparing. Okay, so are you doing self study? Okay, are you doing self study, or basically you are enrolled in some online coaching or in some online batches, or you are doing offline coaching, okay, somewhere. So if you can write self study, online, offline, that will be fine in the chat. Then we can understand like, are you basically how you are preparing. Okay, so self study, online coaching, okay, offline plus online. Okay, okay, yeah. So yeah, yeah, we will discuss about the options for graduate students as well. Okay, so yeah, good. So now, so if you see, what happens is, so when you are preparing for anything, okay, when you are preparing for any exam, or also you are preparing for any of your target or your goal, you might face some challenges, okay, you might face some difficulties. So can you write in short what all difficulties you are facing, so that I can address those difficulties in the session? That will help me to tailor the session for you. Okay, so you can write what are your difficulties. First difficulty people are writing is basically self study. No, sorry, this is being consistent. Okay, so someone is facing difficulty, Siddhi is facing difficulty in being consistent. Other people might face difficulty that they're confused, they don't know which material to follow, how to prepare. Okay, there are lots of resources, but how to utilize the resources, right? And not sure on what to focus, what to leave. Okay, what is the amount that you need to study, and confused about the exams. Okay, confused with topics. Okay, yeah. Okay, so these are some of the issues that you are facing. Okay, great, guys. So we will address these issues. Okay, and so now in today's session, what we will be discussing, we will be discussing about the career alternatives for science students. Okay, so in science, most of the people think engineering and medicine. These are the only known career options, and these are being basically enforced upon us due to the society or the peer pressure. Okay, but we will see the career alternatives for science students. We will also see about the research institutes of India. If you want to make a career in research, then what are all those institutes basically that offers research courses, and where you can get admission, and how you can get admission, what are the exams you have to give, okay, what is the eligibility criteria, and all those things we will see. And we will also tell you how you can prepare for these exams. Okay, as you know, we have a legacy in making researchers, scientists. Okay, so we will explain you about our batches as well, and then we will have a Q&A session where we will discuss like basically what are your queries. So the first question, if I ask you, okay, what do you want to become, so most of the answers will be engineer or doctor. In India currently 12 lakh plus applications are for JEE and for NEET examination, which got leaked. Okay, so re-NEET was conducted, you all know that. And for that exam basically 22 lakh applications were there, so plus 22 lakh plus. So that means most of the students, they only think if they have taken science in their class 11th, whether it is PCM, PCB or PCMB, then they can go into these two career paths, either engineer or doctor. But that is not true. In India you have research institutes, okay, which are very good research institutes. Okay, for example, my institute, that is iisc Bangalore, okay, which is Indian Institute of Science, okay, which is more than 100 years old, okay, which has a research legacy in all the fields, okay, which are being offered here, okay, in all the research areas. It is the topmost institute of India, okay, NIRF ranking 1 and everything. So this is one of the institute. Apart from that, you have NICER, okay. So NICER Bhubaneswar, that is another research institute, which is a very good institute if you want to do research in India, okay. And this is associated with Department of Atomic Energy, okay. And here also you can pursue your research, okay, in any of the fields. You will get world class facilities, okay. Apart from that, you have basically ICERs, okay. So you have 7 ICERs in India: ICER Pune, Kolkata, Berhampur, okay, Tirupati, and basically Thiruvananthapuram, and all these. So you have 7 ICERs, okay. ICERs are the institutes basically which promotes research, okay. And you can say in India you have one ISC and rest you have ICERs for research, and then you have NICER, okay. So these are the institutes which are basically promoting research in India, which are giving scholarship to you so that you can do your research, and they provide you access to world class facilities so that you can do research and you can lead to the progression of the nation, okay, by doing research and finding new things, okay, inventing new things and lot of things, okay. So apart from that, so you might have heard about ISC, ICERs or NICER, but very few people they know about other institutes. For example, Chennai Mathematical Institute, CMI, okay, and basically Indian Statistical Institute, that is ISI. So these are the institutes which offer courses in mathematics. And for the students who are interested in mathematics, who wants to do research in mathematics, okay, who wants to basically do research in statistics, mathematics, and all the mathematical models, for them these institutes are very good institutes. Okay, so very few people know about these institutes. So my motive is that you should be aware of every option that is there. Then you have ICAR, which is Indian, basically the research institute for doing the research in basically your botany and basically agriculture. Okay, so these are some of the institutes which are there. And apart from that, the question that will strike your mind is, what is so special about these institutes? Okay, so first thing is that for studying, for doing research, government is paying you scholarship. Okay, that means that once you enroll here, you will get a monthly stipend. Okay, that stipend will help you to overcome your expenses and to save money. Apart from that, so that you are not distracted for earning and you can fully focus on your research. Okay, so for example, at ISC, I used to be getting the stipend for PhD. The stipend is equivalent to 37,000 for JRF per month. Okay, so like that you get stipends, okay, at these institute, and you get the scholarship. The fees is very less. Okay, so if you see the fees of IIMs or you see the fees of IITs, that is comparatively higher. Okay, and there you don't get such a fellowship from the institute. Okay, you might apply for some external fellowship, but you don't get a institute fellowship. So the special thing about these institutes is that you get fellowship, okay, for carrying out your research. Then the fees is very less, zero or minimum fees. Then there are top placements. So there is a very big myth that people have, that if you study from basically ICERS, ISC, NICER, then you will remain unemployed, because engineering people in CS, okay, they get good packages. Okay, you might have seen IIT Bombay 1 crore package or something like that, and you think that this is the only way to get rich or to get a good job. But that is not true. In today's time, in R&D for industries, okay, they need PhD scholars, they need people in research, okay, who have research experience, who can think in a different way, okay, and who can start with a problem from scratch and they can build something out of it based on the available resources. So these skills you will get only when you will enter into research. Okay, so all those basically companies, the industries, they look for these people who have done their research, okay, in some specific fields. Then the another thing is, these institutes, ICERS, ISC, or NICERS, they are called as the factory of producing students and sending them abroad to carry out their research. Because you will see most of the students who are enrolled in the BSMS programs, they get international PhD offers, which is fully funded PhD abroad, and they are able to basically pursue their PhD from there, because they have done their BSMS from these recognized institutes, which are recognized worldwide. Okay, ISC, ICERS, NICERS, and all these institutes that I told you in the previous slide, they are recognized worldwide. So you will get international PhD offers, you will get a good stipend, you can do your research abroad also. Okay, and another thing is, you will learn from the top faculties. So the faculties at IISc, ICERS, and all these institutes, they themselves have completed their PhD or postdoctoral research from top institutes of the world. For example, MIT, for example, Harvard, okay, for example, Oxford. All these places you might have heard of. So they themselves have completed their PhD postdoc from these reputed institutes, which are QS rank 1, 2, 3, like that. And they return back to India. Now they are teaching you. Okay, so they have done top research in their career. Now they are basically a faculty at these ICERS, ISC, and they are nurturing you so that you can also become a good scientist. Okay, so you will get the access to those top faculties. Also, you will get the access to world-class research facilities. For example, I don't know how many of you know about microscopy, right? So microscopy, basically you can start with a simple compound microscope, and there are different levels. Okay, so there are atomic microscope, then you have cryo EM, that is cryo electron microscope. Okay, so at ISC we have a cryo electron microscope in which you can freeze the sample, you can visualize the samples. Okay, so this cryo EM facility, this is available in very few research institutes, okay, in India currently. but this is available at IISc because these facilities, they are very common abroad. In most of the institutes you will have them, okay, but in India it is very limited. So if you study in research institutes which are top notch research institutes, you will get these world class research facilities. Then this is the view of the nicer Bhubaneswar campus. You can see how does the campus looks like, very beautiful campus, right? And apart from that, if you see the facilities, so you get machines which are worth crores, okay. So I have worked in the field of vaccine development. So for me, like we have a machine to make lipid nanoparticles. That machine cost was more than 1 crore, okay. And that machine was so powerful that it can make mRNA vaccines which you can give to the whole nation, okay. Like in that much quantity you can produce. So those machines you get from grants, and those grants the professors are getting because they are top researchers in their field. So this is the benefit that you get access to so expensive machines to carry out your research, to understand the science, to understand fundamental pathways which exist in nature. And now if you see here two photos. So the first one basically is Vivek, and he is the basically founder of SciAstra. So he's a chemist and he is an alumni of NICER. And the second photo is of Akhil, who is basically the co-founder of SciAstra and also a NICER alumnus. So Akhil is a biologist and Vivek is a basically chemist who have basically started this platform of SciAstra, where we are building the world's largest research community. And now here in this slide, you can see the top research institutes of the world, okay. So here you have the name of Stanford, Yale, Harvard, Max Planck in Germany, okay, University of Melbourne, then Wisconsin in US, then University of Pennsylvania, okay, and all these universities, national basically University of Singapore, and all these are the top research institutes, okay, of the world. If you study from IISc, ICERS, NICERS, the ticket, basically the flight ticket for these institutes you will get. That means you will be able to fly abroad to pursue your PhD or postdoctoral research from these top institutes. So I don't know how many of you have watched the movie Iron Man. Okay, so if you have watched, just write in the chat. So in Iron Man, you might have listened to that word that Iron Man, basically the Tony Stark, he was PhD from MIT. Okay, so that was the first time when I heard about MIT. Okay, so MIT is this institute, which is the top research institute of the world. Okay, so you get access to these institutes when you basically pursue research from ICERS, IISc, and all these places. And many a times you see basically these news cutouts where you will see these headings like NICER scientist and team which found CO2 in the outer planet. Okay, so these kind of fascinating research happens. So if you are finding a carbon source or CO2 in outer planet, so we are also made up of carbons, right? So that indicates that some life form might be present, okay, in that particular planet. And this research was carried out by NICER scientists. So that means that these scientists, they are doing top-notch research, okay, that is published, okay, and mostly it comes to news, okay, when it has a very large implications. So this is something which is there. Apart from that, if you talk about vaccines, okay, so I have worked in the field of vaccine development, okay. So during the pandemic, okay, when everyone was like hit by the SARS-CoV-2 virus, then what happened is, so the major problem for vaccines was to have the vaccines which are thermostable, okay, because for transporting vaccines from one part of the country to the another part, you require cold chain, basically. That means 4 degrees Celsius temperature should be maintained, okay. But this cold chain supply is very weak in India, okay. So for distributing the vaccine to these many billions of people, you require a vaccine which is thermostable. That means which can withstand the basically higher temperatures also. So our lab was the first lab who basically developed a thermostable vaccine. That means you can transport that vaccine at 37 degrees Celsius also for SARS-CoV-2. So like this kind of things you will be able to do, which are translational. That means that has implication on the lives of people. That means that has the tendency to affect the life of millions of people by just doing a simple, basically you can say research, okay. So this is word simple is there because you are putting in your efforts, but those efforts, they will help millions of people, okay. So this is something that motivates you. And this is the example of a child, okay. So basically you So what happened is he got an offer from MIT. Okay, that is the best institute I told you in the world for research. And he rejected MIT offer and he joined basically John Hopkins University for his studies in biomedical science, because John Hopkins is better in terms of biomedical science. Okay, and he was like felicitated by the president. Okay, he got the president award. He got the prime minister. Prime minister also appreciated him, and in class 11th he got the president award. And you can call that he was a scientist in class 9th. That means at such a young age, this child, okay, he was eager to do research. Okay, and that is something which drove him and made him get the offers from these top universities. And this is a very big thing if you're rejecting MIT. Okay, you understand? So MIT is the dreams of many people, okay, all over the world. And if you're rejecting MIT, that means a very big thing. Okay, so if you're passionate, you can do anything. And there might be few people here who are passionate about physics or astrophysics. Okay, so if you see, so if you are interested in astrophysics, then you have these many institutes, okay, which are in India. So you can see that you have the 7 ISers that I told you. Okay, then apart from that you have TIFR, which is Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. Okay, and then you have Indian Institute of Science, that is my college. Okay, then you have basically other institute, for example the Raman Research Institute. Okay, Indian Institute of Space Science, IIST. Okay, and like you have Indian Institute of Astrophysics, IIA. And like that you have different institutes which in which you can go and you can basically aspire to become. If you aspire to become astrophysics, then these are the institutes which you can look for to pursue your career here. And if you are someone who is interested in biology, if you want to become a biologist, okay, then you have the 7 ISers. As I told you, they are very good in biology research. Then IISc Bangalore is also there. Apart from that, you have some specialized institute. For example, if you are interested in neurology, in brain research, then National Brain Research Institute, NBRC. Okay, that you have. Apart from that, in Bangalore also you have CBR, that is Center for Brain Research. Then these are some other premier research institutes, for example TIFR. Then you have central universities, okay, and a lot of universities basically which offer courses in biology in different segments. And you can become a biologist. You can do research in various fields which have a lot of implications. For example, someone is working in cancer, someone is making vaccines, like that. So that has implication on the life of people. Okay, so that is something which motivates you. And if you're interested, you can look for these institutes. Now the question arises that what are the entrance examinations that you should give, okay, for pursuing your research. Okay, what are the entrance examinations that you should give? So first thing is, the first and foremost is the ISER aptitude test. Okay, that is called as IAT. So in this test, what happens is that you get the chance to study at the 7 ISers. Okay, not only the 7 ISers, IISc Bangalore. Okay, for your BSMS, that is your bachelor's and master's dual degree. And apart from that, in few IITs as well for pursuing your BTech courses like IIT Guwahati. Okay, so you get opportunity to pursue basically pure sciences research if you qualify this examination. Okay, and this examination, if you talk about, basically this is of 240 marks. Okay, and the thing is that you required to score the maximum marks if you want ISC. Okay, so 220 plus or something like that. So that is the cutoff for ISC. And if you want to another thing is that in this exam you get all the four subjects: physics, chemistry, maths, and biology. Okay, and physics, chemistry, maths, and biology is there. Apart from that, you have to attempt all four. So you need to be master in all the four subjects. That is the difference between JEE NEET and this research or pure sciences. That in pure sciences you master everything. Okay, because these are interdisciplinary research. Okay, so you're required to have knowledge of everything. That's why you need to be well versed with all the four subjects. Then if you talk about the next examination, okay, so in this examination, that is this is the examination for entry into NISER Bhubaneswar that I told you. And apart from that, another college which is CEBS Mumbai. Okay, both of them, okay, so they are associated with Department of Atomic Energy. If you complete your BSMS from NISER, okay, you get a chance to become a scientific officer in BARC. There is no entrance examination required. Now, what is BARC? BARC is Bhabha Atomic Research Center. I hope you know about it. Okay, so basically you get a direct chance to attend the interview, okay, and become a scientific officer if you do your BSMS. So lot of job options are there, okay. Only thing is people are not aware of these options, okay. Apart from that, you have ISI and CMI. So ISI is Indian Statistical Institute, okay, and CMI is Chennai Mathematical Institute, which conduct their separate entrance examinations for entry into courses in mathematics, okay. And then you have IACS, okay, IACS Kolkata, which is a very old institute and reputed institute. So that also conduct the separate exam. Apart from that, you have one more exam that is called a CUET UG, okay. So CUET UG exam that basically you can give after your class 12. And with this exam, what happens is that you get admission into government colleges, okay. The government colleges like DU, BHU and all those. So you get a chance to study there. So for that you have CUET, okay. And then you have NSET and all these examination. NSET exam is to get basically if you are interested in teaching, then you can pursue your teaching training from top institutes like IITs also. So that is NSET exam. So these are some of the exams that you can give after your class 12th and carry out your research in basic sciences, okay. So as you can see, for all these examinations, as I told you, whether it is IIT or NEST, so these are our toppers, okay, who are the students who were mentored by SciAstra, okay, and who will be very good future scientists, okay. So you can see AIR1, okay. This is for different years, and our students, they always secure mostly like every year they secure top ranks in IIT and NEST, and we have 3,000 plus selections, okay. We are a community of 5 lakh plus basically students who are research scholars, okay, as well as the students who love research, okay. And 1,500 plus students, okay, they are studying in ICERS and in ISC if you talk about. So for the BSMS course, every three, if you talk about three people, for one out of every three student that is studying at ISC Bangalore, he is from SciAstra, okay. So we have like created this ecosystem where we are helping students to go into research, to pursue research, and we are also opening the third door, okay, which many people are not able to see because they are stuck in the rat race of JEE or NEET. So our motive is that you should be able to do that, okay. And if I talk to you about basically, so I am also mentoring students. I have mentored students for postgraduate examinations earlier. Now I am mentoring students for basically your getting into ICERS, IISc at the BSMS level, okay. So I am currently teaching biology, okay, at SciAstra Bangalore, and my approach to teach the subject is like I teach with the intersection of physics, chemistry, maths, which is required to understand biology, okay. So if you are interested to study from me, then you can definitely visit me if you are having any doubts. So for the people who are in Bangalore, okay, who live nearby, if you have any doubt in your career, okay, you have any confusion or any problem, you can always come to us, okay, at SciAstra Bangalore Research Center, that is in MG Road, okay. You can Google and you can always visit me. I am ready to help. I have been helping thousands of students, okay, to get into these colleges. And if I talk about IIT examination, so IIT examination, the eligibility criteria, basic criteria is you must have passed your class 12th with a science stream. You should have a PCM, PCB, PCMB background, okay. So that is required. And basically, the age, basically age limit varies yearly, okay. So you, if you have passed class 12th, you are eligible. If you talk about marks criteria, okay, so general, OBC, EWS, you need to have 60% aggregate marks in your class 12th to be eligible to give this exam. And SC, ST, PWD, there are relaxations, okay. Then if you talk about NEST examination, so for NICER and CBS, so NEST is exam, okay, for BSMS, integrated MSc program for NICER and CBS. And if you see the basic criteria, you must have passed class 12 with all of these streams, PCM, PCB, PCMB, which you already have. And then the marks is basically 60% aggregate for general, OBC, and SC, ST, PWD, you have relaxation, okay. And the age limit changes every year, but if you are class 12 pass out, you are eligible, okay. So for the next examination, what happens is you basically the score, if you talk about, okay, so what happens is you have PCMB questions. Okay, questions will come from all the four subjects, but let's say you are attempting only PCM, okay, and you think that you will qualify the exam, then that is not the case, because for every subject you need to clear a minimum sectional cutoff. Okay, if you clear a minimum sectional cutoff, then only that score will be counted, and then only your result will come. Okay, so in next examination, even though, okay, so this is of 180 marks, and even though you can basically qualify this if you have a very good knowledge in any of the three subjects, but you need to have some knowledge in the fourth subject so as to clear the minimum sectional cutoff, else your result will not be made. Okay, and if you see, these are our students, okay, who once reached their dream institutes. Okay, so they are always in touch with us, and like any kind of help they need after basically getting into these institutes, whether it is in placements or in other terms. Okay, so we are always connected with them, and that's why we are calling this as a research community, because we are always connected because our goal is same, right? So like people, when they are basically present in a group, okay, they form a community, right? So all of us, we are like, because we all of us, we are interested in research. Okay, so basically if you reach your dream institute, then also we will support you in terms of placements or other opportunities, access to our alumni network, and a lot of things. Okay, so this was the end of the slideshow. And now, if you have any queries, you can let me know. Okay. Yeah. So you can ask by unmuting yourself. Okay. So whosoever has doubt, they can unmute themselves and they can ask. Okay. And you can also write in the chat.
Hello.
Yes.
So can you get me, sir?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you. Yeah. Tell me about your
Yeah.
queries.
So just first question, sir.
Hmm.
Good evening, first of all.
Good
If
evening.
I'm an MBBS student, I have completed my MBBS degree, and if I wish to join IISc Bangalore, how can I approach for continuing the research in some field?
Yeah, so I will tell you incident. So what happened? One of my senior, he has also completed his MBBS from Jipmer Pondicherry. Okay, and
Yeah.
currently he
Oh,
was doing his research in computational biology in my department only, molecular biophysics. So what you have to do is, once you complete your MBBS, okay, so that is considered a master's level degree. Then you can apply to ISC by writing the CSR net examination. Okay, so CSR net allows you to do a PhD in Indian institutes, all the institutes almost. And it basically, there are different levels. So one is JRF, that is Junior Research Fellowship. That means if you qualify JRF, you will get fellowship to do your research. Okay, so if you do that,
oh,
then you need to have top rank in that exam. Then you will be called for an interview at ISC, and then you can give
oh,
your interview and get admission. Okay.
okay, okay. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Welcome.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible, Sachin.
Good evening, sir. So my question was, I mean, I understand you're the biology faculty for KALAM batch also because I saw you in the classes. So my
Okay.
question to you was, as someone with also biological interest, I want to pursue IISc Bangalore, but a part of me also wants to do traditional medicine MBBS. So what do you think is the better approach to directly write ICER aptitude test or to complete the basic MBBS and then gradually shift into research in biology?
So it depends on lot of factors. So first thing is, if you're currently not sure about MBBS, okay, so I can tell you, many of my friends, they are doing MBBS. Okay, So in MBBS, what happens is, let's say you are doing MBBS from a very good government college. Okay, you qualified NEET with a good rank, and now you are doing MBBS. So what happens is you will also get chance to do some research, but that will be not in that depth. Okay, so what you will do
Yeah.
is you will have a clinical data. For example, let's say there are patients which are admitted in the hospital. For example, cancer patients. Okay, then you will collect their samples, or you will do some assay to identify what is basically commonly found or something like that in those proteins found in the blood, and then you will have a statistical analysis that in cancer patient this protein is upregulated, this is downregulated, like that. So this is something which is a clinical study based on the samples. So this is the kind of research environment that you will get in MBBS colleges generally. Okay, and apart from that, if you enter into research, so you will have a lot of options. For example, if I tell you about iisc, okay, so iisc has a biochemistry department, microbiology department, then developmental biology department, then molecular biophysics, which is my department. Okay, and like that, ecology department. So a lot of options. So once you enter into ISA, you get the freedom to choose what you like, okay, and in which particular domain you want to do your research. Okay, so once that happens, then you have more freedom and you will work on those things, okay, which are required by the society. For example, I worked on vaccines, okay, and for example, someone is working on drug design, okay, to make drugs for certain diseases. Someone, so this is called as translational research, which can get into industries, okay, which has some value addition. Then if we talk about fundamental research, what happens, let's say you discovered a new pathway, okay, in diabetes, and that pathway or that protein that will be further used by the industries to make something. Okay, so this kind of research is fundamental research. Both of the kind of research you will see in case of your research institutes like ISC, ICERS, NICERS. But in case of MBBS colleges, in that much depth, you will not do the research. You will only analyze some data or do some experiments to generate that data. Okay, that will be clinical data. So that is the difference. So if you are fully passionate about getting into pure sciences, then you can consider basically write IIT exam, NEST exam, and get into top colleges and do your research. If not, if you first want to explore that I want to basically see how MBBS is, and then I want to do research, then that door is always open. So you can first do MBBS, then you can come here to research institutes for doing research. Okay.
Sir, I have a follow-up question also, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Because since you mentioned drug design, the exact research I want to follow is drug design and delivery, actually. So, what are the labs I should look for in IISc which allow these kind of research?
So drug design is of two types. Okay, one is a computational drug designing. Okay, where you use computational biology to design the drugs. Okay, so you do molecular docking, you do simulations. Okay, to find the ligand. Something is called as drug repurposing. That is already approved drugs. You are using those drugs so that you can basically combat some diseases which are already FDA approved. So that is called as drug repurposing. So for all this, you need to check the affinity and of the drug for the target and all these things. This is computational drug design. For that, you have labs in my department. Anand Srivastav, professor. Dr. Anand Srivastav, he works on computational biology. Okay, for this particular thing. And in biochemistry, you have Professor Nagasuma Chandra, who works in basically computational biology for not specifically the drug design part, but yeah, for analyzing different diseases and fighting the finding the targets, all that. So these are the two labs which are very famous. And so this is computational part. Another part is the wet lab, where what you do is you generate mutants. That means you change the composition of the bases. Okay, you generate different mutants, you identify the best target experimentally. That is wet lab. So once you combine dry lab and wet lab, that is the whole drug design. Okay, so both of the opportunities you will get at ISC or ICERS and other institutes. Okay,
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
welcome.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Uh, Sir, actually, I want to ask you. I am interested in biology and computers. So, sir, how should I pursue some courses in ISERS and ISC?
So currently you are in 12th class.
No, sir. This is my first year of drop.
1st year of drop. So you are preparing for IIT exam.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So see, first thing is you qualify IIT exam, okay, or a next exam, then you will get the chance to study at ISC and basically NICERS or ICERS. So once you get a seat there, no, then what happens in the initial stages, you are taught everything, like all the four subjects, okay, in depth, and there you find your interest. Now there are specific labs in each department. For example, if you are interested in biology, computers, and all those that you said, that is computational biology, I'm assuming, or bioinformatics, then there are different labs for that in different departments. So what will you get is the freedom to choose your lab, okay, and work basically in that lab for that particular topic. So all in all the institutes, good institutes, you will get computational biology or bioinformatics labs, okay, and you can do your research there. So the first target should be that you should qualify IIT exam, okay, or next exam, and then get into these institutes. So you will get all the available like guidance, facility, and everything. So you don't worry about that. You just focus on first clearing the exam. That is your first milestone. After that, you can get into the next one. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Sir, hello, sir. Good evening. I am currently in 10th standard, and I wish to pursue research at one of these institutes. So I'm
Okay.
actually contemplating my stream. I'm a CBSE student. So
Hmm.
do you have any advice for that?
Okay, so see, if you want to get into these institutes for your research, and like you are in 10th standard and you want to do this, so that is very like surprising, because most of the students, they also don't know that which stream they have to choose, and they're very confused, okay, after their 10th. So if you want to first get here, first thing is you have to take the science stream, and I will suggest you to take PCMB. Okay, you take both the subjects, okay, physics, chemistry, maths, maths and biology, you take both, okay, and you study all the four subjects, okay, in your 11th and 12th. And along with that study, so what you have to do is you have to qualify IIT and NEST exam if you want to get into these institutes, right? So the study approach should not be that if you are, let's say, reading NCRT book, okay, so till 10th, what is the approach? That you basically read NCRT, you solve the CBSE PYQs, okay, the past year questions, and then you write subjective answers and objective answers, and you pass the exam, right? So this is the traditional approach that follows. Once you will enter into class 11th and 12th, you will see there are a lot of things, okay, which you have studied initially, which have depth, okay, and then you have to not only study those things, you don't have to rote learn those things, you have to understand what is happening. So the foundation should be strong. So for that, basically you can come to us, okay. We basically have batches for 11th class and 12th class as well, where we are teaching or mentoring students. And apart from that, our approach is to make you able to think, not just impose things on you, okay. That is the approach you should be focused on, okay. So first thing is you take PCMB, you target these exams, okay, and we are here to guide you. So if you have any issue, you can always reach out, okay.
Sir, I have one more question.
Yeah.
I have been looking into SciAstra and everything. So I live in Bangalore only. So
Okay.
I was thinking of joining offline batches for this thing, for this preparation, from next year onwards. So
Hmm.
um like where is it, and is there any institute center in Bangalore as well?
Yeah, so we are currently located in MG Road, okay, which is basically the central part of Bengaluru, and you can always visit us. You can Google SciAstra Bengaluru, you will get our location. You can come to our center, interact with us, and get to know more about the insights of these institutes. So we are always there to help you. So you are most welcome, okay. So I am also teaching here in the offline classes, and yeah, so we are here, okay, at MG Road. You can search on Google. You will get to know the address, and you can always visit us, okay, for any guidance and insights you want. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
welcome.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I'm doubtful about is there any course of astrochemistry rather than astrophysics?
Astrochemistry, yeah. So that is also a field that is like very, you can say, very few people know about it. But astrochemistry basically involves like so basically studying the chemical constituents in the outer planet, and also yeah, there are institutes which works on that also. Okay, so generally the astrophysics and astrochemistry, this part, okay, this is a bit overlapping. Okay, so many of the research papers that you will see which are published, okay, so they talk about mostly both of these things. Okay, that for in the outer space, okay, what all things you get, okay, when we get to know that these are the compounds that we are getting, then how they resemble the compounds present in earth and all these things. So there are institutes, okay, which basically talk about astrochemistry as well. So once you get into basically India's top institutes, one door will open, okay, that you will be able to get into the top institutes of the world. Okay, for example, in abroad, okay, like MIT, Harvard. So for example, Harvard works in astrochemistry. Okay, so basically all those cool stuff. Okay, so once you enter into these institutes, you can complete your BSMS in some related field, even if in that institute you are not getting the specific astrochemistry lab, but your PhD you can do in astrochemistry, okay, by going there, and then you can come back to India and teach people about astrochemistry and do research here also. So that is something which keeps on happening. Okay,
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
welcome. Any other doubts? Then you can unmute yourself and ask. So in the chat, I am in class 9th. How should I prepare for ISC? So if you are in class 9th, then first like make your foundation strong. So whatever you are studying in, so you have a common book with all the physics, chemistry, maths, physics, chemistry, biology in one book and maths in another book. You just master everything which is being taught in class 9th. You go into class 10th, okay, make your foundation strong. Okay, after that in 11th class, okay, focus on basically you can say take PCMB stream. Okay, so study all the 4 subjects, and whenever you, let's say, study a chapter, just solve all the previous year questions of IIT and NEST. Then when you will see the NEST questions, you will realize how actually scientific thinking is. Okay, how the questions are designed, because they are considered to be the hardest among these examinations. Okay, so because like the NEST exam is the hardest, okay, among IIT, NEET and all this, because that involves thinking skills, and that you will get to know when your foundations are strong. So right now only when you study something, don't only study, question that whatever you are studying. Okay, then you will be able to basically develop your thought process for a particular phenomenon. Okay, so and once you come to class 11th or so, you can always join us for proper guidance and everything. And what are your tips for IIT JAM? Okay, so if you are a graduate, okay, so I myself had qualified IIT JAM examination in the year 2023 with All India rank of 22, and I have cracked the interview of ISC twice, one for masters, another for integrated PhD. So if you are studying for IIT JAM, okay, so you have to mention me first, okay, Gajanan Singh. So you have to mention that which specific subject you are asking for. Is it IIT JAM biotechnology or chemistry, physics, or maths? So you can write that in the chat. But the traditional approach, if I tell you for biotechnology, okay, that is you have to master all the 4 subjects: physics, chemistry, maths, biology. And I was a PCB background. So I have never studied maths full time in class 11th or 12th. So I had to start maths from scratch. Okay, so there are few of the tips that you have to follow for that, and I can answer that once you let me know your subject. Okay, and then what are the options for graduate student in these? So yeah, so for graduate students who are currently in your bachelor's, you can write IIT JAM, and then you can get into ICERS and ISC for your master's and integrated PhD courses. Okay. Okay, so if you are a pure biology student, PCB student, then ISC can't be the option for you, because ISC allows PCMB students only for BSMS level. But if you are talking about postgraduate level, then you can enter into ISC. Okay, So in IIT exam, if you're writing IIT and you want to get ISC, then you should be a PCMB. That's why I'm emphasizing on taking both the subjects in class 11th. Okay. What is your advice for students who are already preparing for NEET exams, and what are the options to shift to IIT exam? So if you're already preparing for NEET, you are preparing for physics, chemistry, biology. Now maths is the additional subject that you have to study. Okay. And if you are a dropper and you want to focus on all the 4 subjects, okay, the first thing that you can consider is, so I'm hoping that your physics, chemistry, and biology part would be stronger, but maths is something that is scaring you. Okay. So you need to first have the right content, that what amount you need to study maths, okay, like at what level. And apart from that, you need to basically maintain all the 4 subjects. So if you are only focusing NEET, then you are restricted to 3 subjects. Now you have to study 1 more. Okay, so if you need more guidance, okay, Sagar, okay, I hope you are from Bangalore only, so you can visit our center, okay, and we are always there to help you, okay, at MG Road. And currently I am studying PCM class 11. How should I study biology to get a good score in IIT to get into ISC? So the approach to study biology, if you are an 11th student, okay, that is something that you don't have to, for NEET, how do you study? You just memorize the NCRT lines. So people say that NCRT is like your Gita or Bible. You have to learn each and every line of NCRT, then you will get good in NEET. But that approach will not work for IIT and NEST. For that, you need to have good understanding of the lines of the NCRT, the depth of the lines. Okay. And for that, you need to, if you will see the NEST PYQs, you will realize you read only NCRT, then you solve NEST PYQs, you will not be able to solve them because that requires higher thinking. Okay. And basically, if you want to study biology, so I teach in KALAM batch, okay, which is for droppers and 12th. There I am basically cover basically 11th class topics also. So you can study from here, you can come basically from there you can study, or if you want to you can enroll in homie batch of SciAstra where we teach 11 students, okay, biology if you are struggling with. And then sir, I'm a biology student in class 12th, so should I pursue research in astrophysics? Yeah, you can consider that, but you have to check the eligibility criteria for of these institutes, okay, whether they allow a biology student or not. Okay. And yeah, if you select PCMC, you can go for the research in astrophysics. That is not a problem. Okay. So I hope all the queries are answered. And if you have any further queries, you can unmute yourself and ask. Else we can end the session. Okay. My school allows only PCM or PCB. How can I approach ISC? So in that case, it will be difficult, and you will have to, if you let's say take PCM only, then you will have to give separate basically CBSE examination from the same board for biology, else it is not possible for ISC, because if you have only one stream, then not possible. Okay. So so if you are basically PCB only, then that is the problem. You require mathematics. Okay. Yeah. So if there are any more queries, you can let me know, or else we can end the session. I hope this session helped you, right?
Definitely, Deepesh sir. Thank you for enlightening all the students. Now, I hope most of the queries that students and parents have are taken care of. In case still anything is left and something you realize later on and you want to get back in touch with Deepesh sir, so please don't worry. Of course, the team is based in SciAstra Bengaluru Center, and SciAstra support contact and Bengaluru's contact can also be found out on the website. So please feel free to reach out to the team. They're always willing to help. And thank you very much. Have a great evening. Thank you, Deepesh sir, once again for enlightening all of us with all the knowledge. All right,
Thank you.
everybody. Bye-bye. See you soon.
Bye, guys. Take care. All the best.